I'm white, and the last name is Corbo. And Red Horse is a local beer in the Philippines, which is the main focus of the cultural study that I tried to do during this project. I explore the Philippines, my relation to the Philippines, since I'm half Filipino, but I look completely white. And the first poem I'm going to start off with, you can follow along if you want to. I really suggest you don't, because it's more fun if you're just listening. The first selection poem is called Written After the Fact. I wrote this around the end of February 2009, this year. And I wrote this after reading some Filipino poetics. Written after the fact. The sad thing is, and I know this already, the sad thing is I will never be the writer, poet I want to be right now, which I'm totally okay with. Can't you see I'm totally okay with it? Because I've read Filipino writers and Filipino writers, poets, whatever. I'll never match their ability to go home and abroad at the same time. My quantum physics are too weak. I need superpowers. I watch too much television. Even brown poets born here in the land of the colonizer know and feel things I do not feel. I'm simply not brown enough. Reading their poetics at night, I think about my family tree and some other stuff that does not matter. Neither do the poetics, because they do not speak to me. Okay, that is, they speak to me, but they don't speak at me. They speak at my brown family, who has more claim in the blood that I commit horrible acts to understand, and the white side, ignorant of their shell of American colonizer-ness. Oh yeah, they're like Asian, right? You don't look. Perhaps I underestimate. I mean, there was my father, hairy-knuckled, champion of the interracial couple, hand in hand with a not quite Chinese-looking woman, kind of round, but not like moo-moo round, with flowers on it, probably a pastel blue. No, round like a boulder, removable. She would house Shinto spirits on her mighty something. But perhaps I need more discipline for what I want to write. I mean, look at this one. Shit is everywhere, man. My words stuttered, and some might even say that I'm trying too hard. I know round Shinto deity mother would say I'm not trying hard enough, that I need character, but it is okay, I have time to build it. But she's not actually a deity. She sells houses, not even time or clocks. But of course I'm writing this after a week at home with her. You can see right through my narrator, the spatters of tears, blood, other bodily syrups, humors, really gross stuff that I cannot communicate over the phone easily, especially with the loud lyricless music that voids my mind, that feels good. You can tell because I smile and twitch my fingers spastically to the music. Honest, I am right now. And I know what I want for breakfast tomorrow, where I'm going. Oatmeal again. An inside joke aimed at my head, written into my poetry, which is kind of too bad for you. You'll have to read my poetics. And in conclusion, I am a mere eater of the dead, a Hitchcock bird on the side of the road. Yeah, an albino one of those. Okay. The next one I wrote last semester. This was before my trip to the Philippines, which I'll talk about later. I had a different voice back then. I think it was a bit more romantic, but we'll see when I read it. I wrote this after I was getting in sort of a political phase, so we'll see how that works out. Did I say anything else? No. It's called and it's somewhat like Gong's. It's somewhat ekphrastic, as it came from a picture of me in the Philippines in 1997 with my father. It's called Family Picture, floating down the Pasig River in 1997. My father and I, in a bamboo stretcher, floated down the river on the island of Luzon, had smiles on our faces, two cruisers on a mission. We ignored the fact that we weren't roughing it at all, ignorant of the buoys in the background, the staged green jungle. It could have been plastic. Tourists on their stretchers pushed them with sticks as paddles, dug them sloppily between stones. They laughed in their life vests, we laughing with them, as them, in short shorts and sandals and dark-shaded glasses, in life vests and white shirts bleached from the morning laundry, delivered to us in baskets, wickered, topped with bright red velvet bows. That is how to learn another culture, not by rowing a bamboo float, but by bleaching whites, then someone else's whites, then the sheets and linens, or holding a door, or serving a drink, or holding a dish, or holding a door, or parking a car, and holding more doors and flashing white smiles as you hold, serve, park, wash, all in a red nylon bow tie, because we knew, without them, us in that river, the islands, the country, the Filipinos, unlike us on our stretcher, would fall off theirs and be dead, twitching in the sand. This is the title poem, I guess, the White Crow, Red Horse, Simbungabi, and the Talent Show. This one I wrote throughout the last 4 months. It was really hard to write. It went through several revisions, and for every stanza that I liked, there was about 12 that I didn't like, and there were some that I didn't like. Anyway, it's a big man pajama, so I'm trying to get rid of it. It is 6:15 a.m. after Simbungabi, which I don't mind explaining, even though you could easily look it up on Wikipedia. It's a Filipino ritual or tradition. Either way, these brown people get up really early in the morning and go to church. Really early. The mass starts around 4 a.m. The place is packed sweaty with people in dire situations, or to put it simply, as I said, they're brown. You might know this as midnight mass if you are white, or misa del gallo if you are a different shade of brown. But this ritual tradition continues 9 days. The 9 days leading up to the birth of Christ, God's Son. Sweaty, poor brownness, tight in sardine pews, or outside where holiness is broadcasted over New York screens with Broadway sounds. That is to say, a projector projects tiny grains on a ripped sheet, like a destitute pirate ship, defeated, and words that native speakers, let alone me, don't understand whatsoever. It sounds like whale invagination, or a peanuts teacher over a megaphone. Wah, 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 wah. Amen. Anyway, brown people sit, stand, kneel, and sing. Obviously you know this, unless you are not Christian. In which case, let me explain Mass. You sit, stand, kneel, and sing. In a chapel where fluorescent lights and fans buzz loud overhead and trash iron dead sticks, half-dead Christmas lights hang handmade by barangay children, or outside in the dark 4 a.m. chill, shaded in a quasi-glow from the clamshell church, and 3 dim-lit street lamps, eclipsed by mosquitoes that crave the blood and warble drone of their cracked function. But don't let me get too poetic yet. This is still the time for definition, explanation, description, neuronal meat cleaver hacks. This match has only liminal sparks. Prayer. Lips move, knees move, butts move, names read, hands hold hands, books open, close, pages flip, lips move foreignly, in front of the cross and altar, behind the screen, behind the lectern, on screen, the clink of coin clank, teeth on flesh, full, lips on blood, drunk, the soul. Hands shake, a nod here and there, a lonely dance, eyes dull, glazed with faith. 9 times, amen again. It is 6:15 a.m. after Simbungabi. I fly into the picture violently white, with a soft good morning. The office, an extension of the chapel, is a birdcage cave, bordered with thick wood benches, where brown people run in and out, work, write, play, eat, and sleep. Auntie Carol, chubby as a fresh mother, and young girls in blue dresses with baskets like bone clubs giggle at me when I say, my own buntag. It sounds too much like my own poontag. Poontang. I even said it wrong there. Without the stress of oog or yug. The language is killed with kindness. Cebuano pride then becomes botched hospitality, a machete lost in the chest of an unfortunate explorer, retrieved as a bouquet of white barbed roses and fitted to their heads as beach crowns. James the Gay, conductor of the Baka in Blue, giggles too, in short, unwashed hot pants that reveal swirled layers of dark leg fat that jiggle when he swaggers, but is comparably minuscule to the memory of Ursula's hypnotic flab tentacle swing, a fresh mind wound, caught like a killer squid. But this is not the Disney Ursula. I promise to tell you soon about my good intentions, and maybe later we can sit and talk about my irrational hatred for good intentions.